Welcome back to another Genshin Interact video. Let us know down in the comments if this guide was helpful or if you have any other tips or questions about NEUVILLETTE and how to build him. Make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any future content. Once again, we want to thank our community for reaching the goal of 1,000 subscribers. The Discord server is out now, so if you would like to join, you can find the link on our homepage, this video's description, or our community post letting you guys know about it. Thank you for watching, now on to the video.
The Chief Justice of Fontaine, NEUVILLETTE, gets his first banner in Genshin Impact. The judge can balance the scales of justice for his current home of Fontaine. Let's see how to build him so that he can balance out your account too. First, we're diving into his talents and their leveling priority. Your first talent to level should be his normal attack talent. This is where most of NEUVILLETTE's damage is going to come from, so make sure that this talent is leveled as high or higher than the others. His normal attack has nothing special to it, but his charge attack does. His charge attack has two states, an empowerment state and an empowered state. Let me explain. The first state is called Charge Attack Empowerment Legal Evaluation. This talent allows NEUVILLETTE to charge his charge attack longer than normal. While charging up, he will start to create a seal of arbitration. NEUVILLETTE can move, change facing, and absorb source water droplets in this state. Each source water droplet he picks up will increase the speed of creating that seal of arbitration and heal NEUVILLETTE based on his max HP. When the charging has stopped and a seal has not been created, NEUVILLETTE will do a normal charge attack. If he fully creates a seal of arbitration, then he unleashes charge attack Equitable Judgment. NEUVILLETTE will then deal continuous AoE hydro damage to all opponents he hits in front of him. This charge attack will not consume any stamina and will last for 3 seconds. It does not seem like you can cancel Equitable Judgment when the seal of arbitration is created, so make sure to back out before the seal is created if you wish to do so. One last thing about this attack, if NEUVILLETTE's HP is above 50%, he will continuously lose HP while using Equitable Judgment. The next talent is his skill. His skill talent summons a Raging Waterfall that deals AoE hydro damage based on his max HP. After hitting an opponent with this skill, the waterfall will drop 3 source water droplets. Along with this initial skill hit, at certain intervals, when the Raging Waterfall descends, a Spirit Breath Thorn will hit opponents with Numa-aligned hydro damage. This damage does not seem to scale off of max HP though. Now looking at the burst talent, NEUVILLETTE unleashes a wave of hydro damage from himself that deals damage based on his max HP. After this hit, 2 Raging Waterfalls will be created and drop 6 source water droplets together. Figuring your NEUVILLETTE is level 80 or higher, the talent levels you should strive for on him are level 8 normal attack talent, level 8 skill talent, and level 8 burst talent. Your skill and burst are not your main way of damaging, but it will be helpful to have some extra damage, especially since their damage also scales off of NEUVILLETTE's max HP.
Looking beyond talents, we move over to NEUVILLETTE's passives. His first passive talent gives a stack of past Draconic Glories for 30 seconds when a party member triggers any hydro-related reaction. You can gain a max of 3 stacks of past Draconic Glories. Past Draconic Glories causes Equitable Judgment to deal 110% or 125% or 160% of its original damage at each stack. NEUVILLETTE's second passive talent states that for every 1% of NEUVILLETTE's current HP greater than 30% of his max HP, he will gain 0.6% hydro damage bonus. You can get a maximum of 30% hydro damage bonus this way. In terms of HP, when NEUVILLETTE is at 80% of his max HP, he will gain the maximum 30% hydro damage bonus. After passives, we need to talk about artifact sets for NEUVILLETTE. The only real 4-piece set we can see him take full advantage of is the Marchesi Hunter set. The 2-piece set bonus gives a 15% normal and charge attack damage increase. The 4-piece set bonus states that when current HP of the wearer of the set increases or decreases, crit rate will be increased by 12% for 5 seconds with a max of 3 stacks. Obviously, the charge attack increase is helpful, and the 4-piece gives extra crit rate when his HP changes. This means when NEUVILLETTE heals himself by picking up source water droplets or damages himself with his charged attack, he will gain crit rate. This is very helpful since NEUVILLETTE can take advantage of this without needing a healer to increase his HP or enemies to hit him to decrease his HP. This means that using a shielder is totally on the table for a NEUVILLETTE team. There could be a case made for the Nymph Stream set, as it does increase hydro damage bonus with its 2-piece and 4-piece set bonuses, but Nymph Stream is better for buffing attack with hydro damage bonus. If you have a great set for NEUVILLETTE and do not wish to farm the newer sets, then you should be fine. If you're without any 4-piece sets, you can use either 2-piece hydro damage bonus sets and combine them with either 2-piece HP percent sets. NEUVILLETTE seems to do better with reaction-based teams, so if you wish to throw on a 2-piece Elemental Mastery set and combine it with a previous 2-piece set, you should be set and ready to go. Do just remember that his best set seems to be the 4-piece Marshalsea Hunter set. Going into artifact main stats and substats, Neuvillette uses his HP to do more damage, so we're going to be focusing the stats toward it. Our recommended way of building him is to get an HP percent Sands, a Hydro damage bonus goblet, and a crit rate or crit damage circlet. Speaking real quickly about the circlet, if you're running his weapon that has a very high crit damage main stat, you might want to look into getting a crit rate circlet. That being said, if you're running the 4-piece Marshalsea Hunter set, you could get up to 36% crit rate from this set alone. Technically, you could get a crit damage circlet and look for a lot of crit rate on your substats. This is not what we think the best way to build him is, but it could be an option for those of you who want to hyper build. You could go after an Elemental Mastery Stance to try to take advantage of his reaction damage, but his damage could actually be lower if you do this. Now looking at substats, you should focus on HP percent, crit rate and crit damage, and Elemental Mastery. Do remember that if you're running an excessive amount of crit damage, make sure your crit rate is still good enough to make a good crit ratio.
Although artifact sets and artifact stats are very important, the next major part of a character's build is their weapon. Neuvillette's best weapon will be his signature weapon, Tome of the Eternal Flow. This weapon has a crit damage main stat as Rift mentioned. The abilities of this weapon will be stated at Refinement 1. HP is increased by 16%, and when HP increases or decreases, charged attack damage will be increased by 14% for 4 seconds, and can be stacked up to 3 times. When you have all 3 stacks or refresh a third stack's timer, 8 energy will be restored to the wearer. But this energy restoration can only occur once every 12 seconds. Other 5 stars aren't all that helpful, but some could make a claim for Jadefall's Splendor and Lost Prayer to the Sacred Winds. Jadefall's Splendor gives an elemental damage bonus based off max HP after using a burst, but it loses out on a crit main stat for the HP main stat, which still could be good. Lost Prayer has a crit rate main stat and gives elemental damage bonus the longer the character is on the field, but Neuvillette might not do so well on the length that Lost Prayer would need for the full stacks. Even without full stacks though, this is still a good weapon. Probably his best 4-star weapon is Sacrificial Jade. The main stat is crit rate and the ability gives a max HP and elemental mastery increase when out on the field. The good thing is that the effect does not cancel when the wielder goes on field, but after 10 seconds of being on field. Map of Mare and Sacrificial Fragments are not bad 4-star elemental mastery options. Map of Mare will give an elemental damage bonus when creating elemental reactions, and Sacrificial Fragments has a chance to get your skill back to produce more droplets so you can heal and do Neuvillette's charge attack quicker. Something like Widsith would not be a bad option either. While Widsith can give you a lot of good buffs though, it also can give you an attack increase, which does not help Neuvillette very much. Once again, Tome of the Eternal Flow will be Neuvillette's best weapon, but there are plenty of options to use to make him great on your account.
Following weapons, we look at Neuvillette's 6 constellations. His first constellation gives Neuvillette a stack of past draconic glories when he takes the field. His interruption resistance will also be increased while in his charging animation for his charged attack. His second constellation enhances the past draconic glory stacks. Each stack will increase crit damage of Equitable Judgment by 14%. The maximum increase is 42%. The third and fifth constellations increase the normal attack and burst talent by 3 respectively. The fourth constellation generates 1 source water droplet when Neuvillette is on field and is healed. The sixth constellation increases the AoE in which Neuvillette can pick up source water droplets. Also, each absorbed droplet will increase the duration of Equitable Judgment by 1 second. When Equitable Judgment hits opponents, it will fire off 2 additional currents every 2 seconds. Each of these currents will deal 10% of Neuvillette's max HP as Hydro damage. The current's damage will count as Equitable Judgment damage. This means that charged attack buffs might increase this damage as well.
Following constellations, we need to look at teams Neuvillette can fit in. Because Neuvillette does well with any Hydro-related reactions because of that passive, the possibilities are endless. A Hyper Bloom team could include Neuvillette, a Dendro character like Baiju, Nahida, or Dendro main character, an Elemental Mastery focused Electro character like Kuki or Raiden, an Animo Viridescent Venera user like Kazuha, Venti, or Sucrose, and a Shielder like Zhongli to not mess up the reaction too much. Another team is a Freeze team where Neuvillette is played with 2 Cryo characters and a Viridescent user or Shielder. An Electro Charge team, also known as a Taser team, could work with double Hydro and Electro characters for resonances. Any Hydro-related reaction basically, Neuvillette should be fine and excel in. Thank you for watching the video. If you have any extra tips or tricks you know or use with your own Neuvillette, please go ahead and let us know in the comments. Also, remember to go ahead and check out the Discord as well. Thank you again, and we'll see you in the next one.